Consultant marketing solo double trouble. You made the break. You decided to put your consulting career on the front burner. You decided that it's time to make that side hustle your full-time job. Two considerations. You need to think about two things that will make or break you. I'll bet neither have managed to tap you on the shoulder so far. If you're like most, you're too excited by the potential in front of you to consider these factors. These important items that are eluding you are 1, team, and 2, technology. Now, before you marshal your arguments, listen to my tale of woe. First, team. The crew you work with was probably assigned to you, or rather, you were assigned to it. As your career progressed, you were moved from team to team. You may have decided to change companies, but once again, you were assigned to a team. With experience, you were moved more and more into leadership, but seldom, if ever, did you select the people on your team. At best, you took on the responsibility of selecting individuals from within the organization to put into teams. Now you're engaged in building a company. Any business coach or attorney will tell you that you need to have a business entity. No matter what form of business you decide on, and no matter what title you assume, you, for the first time possibly, will be the one calling the shots. You will have to think about teams differently. I always thought solos don't have teams. That was my contention until a client pointed out that I had a group of suppliers that I worked with all the time. We were comfortable handling projects together, each of us doing what was needed, each connecting seamlessly to get things done, each a solid member of the unit that wasn't formal, but still functioned by any measure as a team. Even then, I still held that the best thinking came from individuals, not teams. I cited all the geniuses of the arts and some of the discoveries in the sciences as obvious examples. Not long after that, I was trying to convince the man who now has been a client for a decade that moving from doing turnarounds as a CEO or COO to leadership and management consulting was significantly different, that he did not have a team in place to handle the shift. Teams can trump persuasion. I pointed out that when you have a C-suite initial as your title, employees have to follow your orders. They may resist, citing long-standing team approaches, but long-term, they must acquiesce. As a consultant, you don't have that power. You have to convince, persuade, cajole, and sway them in any way you can to be effective. And the team you have in place, whether they work for you full-time or on a 1099, can and will impact your efficiency. I've come to the conclusion that nobody can do it all alone, at least not the ones I've come across. It was a hard lesson. It took me over 20 years to figure it out, and I was still left with a hole in my knowledge of how to select, build, and lead teams starting from scratch. Now, like a lot of people, I searched for answers. I had worried my way through just about every assessment tool that you can imagine, starting as a beta tester on an early one back when I worked in Denver. Technology wasn't the answer. There were a couple of problems with those assessments. The person you were evaluating had to take the assessment for you to get any kind of real fix on them. And second, the training required that you use the labels assigned by the assessment on a daily, continuing basis to use it to your greatest advantage. Now, I found very quickly that I had become some sort of new millennium astrologer to begin to get any use out of all these things, and all the time that I put in studying those assessments. Unfortunately, my Mars in retrograde got wrapped around the axle of my conflicting moons, and I found myself fizzling out, dodging detritus circling Saturn, even if I had the code for a people connection. Maybe their why is the answer. I learned of a new piece of software. It's called the YOS. I went to the Y Institute website to learn more. I tried the free trial, and in a matter of minutes was rewarded with the discovery of my why. Now, this is the why that's associated with Simon Sinek. He wrote a book called Start With Why back in 2009. He may be better known for a TED Talk, which can be seen on YouTube. It's called The Golden Circle. He made the world cognizant of what made some individuals and organizations stand out from others. Because of Simon Sinek, a dentist began searching for software that will allow him to optimize his why. Dr. Gary Sanchez's why is to find a better way and share it. How he does that is by making things clear and easy to understand. And what he brings is simple solutions to help people move forward. He and his team have worked with hundreds of thousands of individuals, as well as thousands of companies from small yoga studios to Fortune 500s, helping them get clear, stand out, and play bigger. I didn't know I was looking for that piece of software, but I was. I didn't realize what a difference it could make. Now I do, because I've tested it. I was never quite sure what drew me to trying to find a better way in everything I do. Now I understand. The YOS is changing my life. It will change my product called Brander, which guides you step by step to inject brand into your LinkedIn profile in just one evening. It will make it possible to base your brand on your why. The product was good before. Now it's great. It's all about credibility. And credibility leads to cash.